All right, giggity giggity. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills for Sasquatch Shills, so you don't have to. It's largely because I'm bored. There's no one else to listen to me, but this is what we're doing today. I have Biggie and Bean backstage, and we all love her. But before we get to that, we're going to listen to the dulcet tones of Captain Curmudgeon because he has about a, I don't know, 5 minute thing to say. It takes him a minute to get around to it. So,
It was 75 years ago today, believe it or not, Tuesday, 14 October 1947. 45,000 feet above the dry lake bed of Edwards Air Force Base, California, a 24-year-old First Lieutenant Charles Elwood Yeager of Myra, West Virginia, became the first man to pilot an aircraft, the Bell X-1 in this case, faster than the speed of sound. And as an interesting side note, it happened only 3 weeks after the U.S. Air Force came into existence. So if he had broken the barrier a month sooner, he would have done it as an Army pilot, and the installation from which he took off and landed would have still been known as Muroc Army Airfield. Now, if you're familiar with the man's life story, or if you have seen The Right Stuff or read the book, and I'm talking about the movie here, not the shitty Apple TV show, which you don't need to watch, by the way, then you already know some of the mythology around that famous flight of 75 years ago, like how Yeager had fallen off his horse 2 days earlier and wound up flying the mission with two busted ribs, which he didn't tell anybody about
freaking
except his wife.
ow. Like, good God, how do you break Mach 1 with multiple broken ribs? All right, before we get to that part, I'm going to bring the girl of the hour out back and see how we can do it. So, how are you doing today?
I am outstanding. How are you?
I'm pretty spiffy myself. Of course, I was in full panic mode backstage. That's just, it just means all the cylinders are working. That's all. Like a cat's purr. All right, so I'm gonna give you the big screen, let you introduce yourself, and tell everybody who the heck you are if you want to,
Right
or you can just sit there and
on.
stare blankly at the screen. That's your choice.
No, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for I'm turn my so I don't have any back. I am Biggie. I am the Biggie. Biggie is my son. In the new stained glass, showing my art, my hobby, my travels, and just having a fucking great time. That's me.
All right. You basically just wander around, do stuff, and show folks what you do, and then when not doing that, you're making stained glass.
Yes, absolutely.
Has the echo cleared up?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I when I'm doing the music thing, I can't have the echo cancellation on. And I forgot about that. That was totally my fault. So yeah, we might have to get back together and do that first bit again one day. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do a voiceover. Or I'll just hijack it from your channel somewhere. We'll figure it out.
No problem. I thought it was me. I closed out my YouTube on my other screen, but no, I appreciate it. Yep, I picked up doing stained glass. Taught myself. I think it's almost been about 2 years now.
That's cool. And what type of a beading do you use? Is it lead or you using rubber?
I use the I use solder. I use 60-40 blend of
Right.
solder with my copper foil method of how I put the glass together.
Right. That's cool. I have I guess you might think it's a large stained glass window, but it's actually in my shed. Um, it's just sitting out there leaned up between two doors so nothing can break it. But I think it came out of a local church like
Oh, how neat.
long ago. I don't know how long ago. I've been cleaning at that shed for about 2 years trying to get back there to it so I can get it out and see what it is. I don't even know what it is yet. No idea.
That's all good, man. That's the best kind.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's a mystery. I love mystery. Yeah, no, the thing about both of these creators, and one of which shall remain unnamed unless he happens to show up. Anyway, um, where is he anyway? Probably working or something. Who knows? Anyway, 3 o'clock is apparently a terrible time to do a live stream. Just as I was coming up live, I had like, I don't know, 10 people that I'm like aware of, or I guess are aware of me, all go live at the same time, and I'm like, suck. Y'all ain't even scheduled nothing. Like, I've been scheduled. Y'all all suck. Y'all supposed to be watching me. What's wrong with y'all? Okay, anyway. I got to boohoo a little bit sometimes, or else it's not a normal YouTube show, is it? I'm currently trying to find out whether or not this glitchy thing that's happening over here is actually going to crash the computer, or just let it go, because it's been working fine.
Yeah.
Which is what I usually say right when the show starts. Anyway, I've got a couple of videos over here. One of them is, and I didn't do my usual format. Usually I go for the most viewed video. Well, that happened. Got it? All right. Usually I go for my your most viewed video, and then your first video, earliest to publicly available upload.
Oh man.
And something interesting. But in this case, I found two very interesting videos that I thought were interesting. And I'm gonna let this first one go, and then we'll get to the ancient alien secrets and stuff.
Currently camping right now, and I thought I would share how we camp in our rooftop tent. Thought that would be very entertaining. So this is our setup.
It is
Good
not
old
at all.
rooftop tent.
This is our rooftop tent. Jack is gonna be.
Okay, so here's my question. How bad is that thing?
It is amazing. So that tent only weighs 100 pounds. And I say only because my husband, of course, helps me load it up. It folds out to a queen size mattress pad, and there's one already in there. And we put a pillow topper on top of that.
Right.
Give a little more comfort. My husband is the little more creative one when it comes to things like that. He's ran a window heater with a return and everything into there when it was hot. We've ran heaters in there when it's cold and everything in between. It's wonderful.
Oh, cool. I actually considered a rooftop tent real hard and then passed on it, because here's the issue. If there's two people traveling and one of them's antisocial, you can't take them with you. So I have to have somewhere to stick her, or she's not going. And so if she's not going, it's fine, because the only time I'd have to deploy the tent is whenever I am actually going to be sleeping. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. The issue is my wife doesn't do the camping thing. That's beyond the pale as far as she's concerned. If it doesn't have room service, she's not interested.
Let's see. This is how you go around that. Whoa. Was that me? Sorry. I brought we brought the couch with us. We cleaned out the work van and ran an AC unit in there. So we were nice and toasty or comfy.
That's actually what I'm looking into right now, is trying to hunt me up an old beater van like that.
Yeah, my husband's had that, I think, 20 years. Got to be.
You see, the thing is, yeah, and I don't have that. Everything I have either has a bed or a trunk, so I can put a camper on it. But like I said, my wife don't really do the whole camping concepts. That's just like beyond her for whatever reason. But chances are it's going to end up being hotel rooms if I know her.
Yeah, the nice thing about the truck and the rooftop tent is many times before we can fit our kayaks underneath it, so we can take those with us with the batteries and troller motors. So spend our day out in the water and then just come crash out at the campsite when we get back.
That's cool beans. All right, so you got camping stuff a little bit. You've got quite a bit of stained glass shorts and whatnot. You do a bunch of shorts. What can you tell us about your shorts? Like,
I tried to organize those just to get people's attention to my channel. Stained glass takes a lot longer than people realize, so it's just easier to condense it down to shorts. And I just want to share my experiences with with everyone.
right. I mean, I get that. You're not as prolific as some, but you make a lot more appearances on other people's channels than any other YouTuber I've seen. You know, and you don't seem to do it for any particular reason. You just do it because you're sitting at a table with a camera in front of it anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm actually sitting how I am now. I just bring my this table I work with is mobile. It's from Home Depot. So I just roll it over here so I can watch TV or film while I do my stuff.
See, that's genius.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the panels. I've only gone on two channels panels, and I do it because it's great company on Divas, Weed Chronicles, and Wandering Hippie. Those guys are awesome, man.
The Wandering Hippie's a strange kind of fruit, but he's in a bit of an acquired taste if you're not that kind of person, if you get what I'm saying. Because he's like all about everything all the time, all of it, always, right? And it takes a certain type of person to come across that personality and go, oh, that's great. I mean, some people find him a bit overbearing, a bit too much, and a bit often, I love it.
Well,
I think
people could say that for me as well.
maybe. I imagine I get a good bit of that myself. It's probably a common YouTuber trope, come to think of it. I imagine we all have that issue.
Oh, yeah.
So before you started your channel, did you have a situation or any occurrences where people were like, oh, you should have a YouTube channel, or you should put that on TikTok?
Yes.
Did it happen all the time?
My dad has been my my inspiration and gave me the guidance to start one. He thought that people would be really interested in my stained glass work and our travels, and that's why I started my YouTube, because I don't do social media.
Right. Well, YouTube is a social media, so
yeah, that's true. I don't do Facebook or Twitter or TikTok, or I don't know what else is out.
Right. I have a Facebook because I've had a Facebook and it's been there the whole time. About once a month, I go and look and see if anything's been changed on it by someone else. And that's about the only thing I use it for.
Whoa, that indica.
Yeah, that's my preferred method.
That's right.
So, hello, Nude Guru. Let me run back through the chat. I didn't do that. We should probably do that. It's a thing.
Yeah. I'm still practicing on doing all that. Thank you guys for being here.
It takes a little while to get used to like the system of it. We got Jeff Co Accountability who gets the gold. Mr. Bean and GW George Ward gets the silver. And Princess OPD gets the bronze. And guess what? Her cat is 17 years old, so that everybody knows and no one forgets. Russell Sperry's in the house. We got Fab Daddy 44. It's good to see you, brother. And we all had a bunch of echoes at the beginning. Unindoctrinated is here. It's good to see you, brother. Sistren, whichever one you might be. But Violence is Life. Hello, hon. I haven't seen you streaming recently. Hope you're okay. Nude Guru's in the house. Good to see you, brother. And Russell Sperry has showed up because he's the coolest one in the whole bunch, as far as I know. All right. All up with the list. All right, so camping, stained glass, which is largely what? Is that your merch line, or do you do that for like business? Like, how's that work?
So that has started probably around the time I started my YouTube. I, at the beginning, was making a lot of stuff to sell just in my neighborhood, and we thought that would be a good opportunity to expand it. I only take orders by my email address, and or if anyone's interested in what I've made. It's all kind of new to me.
Right. I couldn't find any merch links or nothing associated with you. I kept expecting
my email address.
Yeah, I kept expecting a certain ghosty individual out there to just drop off like a stack of links and be like, oh, she needs all that. Abbott, I don't know. He must be having way too much fun.
Yeah, no, I have been suggested quite a bit to do the Etsy and things like that, and I just respectfully choose not to. I would rather only have my art done by word of mouth and in my neighborhood.
I dig that. When you start trying to monetize something like that, volume becomes an issue immediately, right?
Yeah, I've only done one vendor event, and it was at a canna bar, so I made about 50 hot leaf out of stained glass and THC and all kinds of cool stuff, but it got so overwhelming. I was up, 48, 36 hours trying to finish it all at the end. So I don't do anything like that anymore.
Yeah.
I quit for about 6-8 months after that.
That's one of my concerns is if I do any type of merch, I have no way of gauging what the hell's going to happen with it. Because sometimes when I do things that I don't intend to have an effect, it blows up. And I'm just like, oh, just do it and get it out of the way, put that over there. And everybody's like, that's fantastic. And I was like, I was going to do a real one as soon as I got around to it. Get that whole place, like the radio show. I don't have any programming to put on the darn thing, right? I'm inventing it as I go along. So there's a lot of repetition and a lot of stuff like that. Folks are like, what are we doing over here? It is something I can do without having to be on camera and do this thing here. Because this soul-sucking eye is devouring my heart. I don't know. It's something that I can do that's live that isn't as nerve-wracking as starting this show up. It really agitates me in a weird way.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever been on a panel where I'm not doing my glass work. So it's definitely a different feeling.
Well, one of the things that people misunderstand about the show is it's not actually a panel. Okay, the design of the show, rather than I don't have an intro monologue, I can't do any stand up, I can't walk around on the set or anything, and so I bypass that by bringing in other videos to do that part for me, right?
Yeah.
So big enough. All right, so this is your first upload, right?
Oh yeah, that was a fun trip.
That's fantastic. You know what that means, right?
You know about cars? Yes! I'm a paleontologist.
Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag, too. I am a paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist.
Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
Hey, MLH, welcome to the show,
Hey,
brother.
MLH.
All right.
Cemetery.
We're at a cemetery.
Richmond.
Oh, I know that
Virginia.
cemetery. Yeah.
Yep, in Richmond, Virginia.
Avenue.
Yeah, I recognize that pyramid thing out there.
18,000.
As far as I know, there ain't about 6 of them.
That pyramid was probably the coolest thing, and then they have I think it's 9 or 18,000 Confederate soldiers buried there, 2 U.S. presidents, and 1 supposed vampire.
Well, you got to keep them down.
Hey,
MLH, you need to email me to remind me to tell you what I'm doing, because I forgot. I just started doing it. I was like, I think he'll love that crap. I think you'll dig it. I don't want to blow too much of it before it's actually a thing, Just saying. It's one of those back burner ideas that's been sitting back there, and I now have enough to make it work, I think. But I need bits. I need things. And I'm going to steal like half of your mustachioed stuff and almost all of Harry's pistachioed stuff. It's all going to be perfect. It's going to be great. Copyright claim it if you want to, but it's still going to be great or terrible. I can't decide which. Yeah, bud. Okay, so you do travel, you do bluefish grilling. What is a bluefish?
Uh, whoa. We get the bluefish from out in the Chesapeake Bay. Um, their meat is actually blue. Thought that was pretty cool. It's a local fish that there's. There you go. I can pull it up for you on my little app. They're pretty awesome. There you go. They have really sharp teeth, and they were constantly getting off the line. But man, me and Biggie love fishing, and are fortunate that my husband loves boating, so he boated us out there so we could fish, and it was really fun.
Cool. I've never actually been deep sea fishing. I've been strand fishing, seining, gill netting, trap most everything that walk or crawl or swim.
So the fishing, so out in the water, we're not on a big boat. We're in a Grumman, so we don't go very far out. We got like a little 6 horsepower. Yeah, we love grilling. This is our back porch. We grill with firewood each time we use the grill. Usually with oak. Lately, we've had a lot of oak, and we just like the flavor of it. Just depends on what we're making.
You tried red oak?
I can't tell the difference between the oak, so I'm sure we have. I actually think I have some red oak out there right now.
I'll get to it MLH right after the show. I'll sit down and explain the whole doohickey. It's kind of like what you've been sort of trying to do, but a little more dynamic. If you're willing, if anyone's willing. I mean, what I was been kind of working towards for the past year and a half. Hopefully we can get there, all of us together. It'll be awesome. We can have our own programs. It'd be great.
Yep, we got our you can kind of see it, but on the other side of the barbecue, we have rosemary, onions, a little bit of stuff growing back there.
That's cool. I have an aquaponic system that I keep right out the backyard, and I keep my garlic, onions, various herbs and stuff in it, and a volunteer grapefruit that grew from seed while I was putting the rocks in. That I ate a grapefruit out there and spit a seed out. It grew. So I have a grapefruit tree happening. I'm trying to not clone. I'm trying to graft my my Satsuma orange onto the grapefruit, and so far I haven't had any luck. But I've got a big orange tree. We'll get there one day.
It's actually how we got our pumpkins growing in our front yard. It was by accident. We kicked it off the porch when it rotted last year, and it grew this year.
Have you ever heard of a Tiny Tim pumpkin? They're like little bitty they're really squash. They're like little bitty, and they're all kinds of different colors and crazy shapes and stuff. We had a Tiny Tim pumpkin collection, like about 10 different kinds. And after they went a little south, they got thrown off the edge of the porch, and we ended up with probably 200 pumpkins growing over there. And I mean, when I say 200, that's how many Tiny Tim pumpkins we got off of it. That's not how many grew. That's how many fruits. Like, no one bought the pumpkins the following year because they just came by the house and picked them. But that was my mom for you. She was like a walking green thumb.
It's my 2 best furry friends right there.
Gotta have them. Mine's over here passed out in my bed right now. He is sagged out and depressed because Mama's been gone for a day. Oh no, what is he going to do? He's going to lay there.
Miss Harley Jean Davidson, my German Shepherd right there. She's my profile picture. She turns 10 this December.
Fantastic. Oh Lord, that is an old dog, baby. That's kind of sad in a way because you know what's coming, right?
Oh yeah, but man, she's such an active girl. She's gonna be one of them that stays around for a while.
That's what I thought about Champ. Turned out, and I'm not trying to worry you here, but
Oh, no.
when he turned 7, actually when he was a puppy, he got hit by a car. Took him like he died. He was dead, like flat dead. And because of where I lived at the time, there was this really bad curve right there. I walked out, grabbed him by his tail, threw him out of the road. When he hit the ground, his heart started back up. So there we were with a broke up dog that's still alive, and I was like, you know what, this dude's been such a soldier. I'm gonna check him out. We're gonna take him in, see if there's anything we can do. Turned out nothing was broken. He had dislocated a hip and dislocated like a paw. We put those back in place, and he was back at it, right? And so fast forward 5 years, and this, there's 3 types of Labrador retrievers. There's your black lab, your yellow lab, and then the spastic ass meth labs. He was a meth lab. This dog, I taught him to do a dozen tricks. The problem was he didn't like doing the tricks. So when I'd tell him to sit, he would sit, lay down, roll over, hold his paw up. He'd do all of his tricks in a row. And the last trick was play dead. And he'd lay down on his side and he'd jump back up. He'd do it all in 6 seconds. And finally, we just stopped doing all that and decided, okay, well, he's got one trick that he reliably does. And it's when I point at him and go bang and he falls over. Only problem is he falls over and starts barking until I scream. Dead dogs don't bark, and then he'll remain silent for like 2 seconds. Otherwise, he was barking, actively running around the house. We have grooves worn in the carpet from where this dog was running back and forth through the house all the time. Spastic. He was absolutely spastic. If you didn't know better, you'd think he'd gotten into somebody's stash, but that was just the way he was all the time. He had one thought: ball.
That's like my girl too. But that's my best friend. And those two on the video.
All right. So we have pups, we have dogs. Are they trained? How well trained?
Yes. Miss Harley, the German Shepherd, is trained, and Quinn, the chubby Australian Shepherd, is at her own free will on a daily basis. She's a lover.
Cool.
She's a lover. Right. She's scared of everything, and she rubs her butt all the time. That's about it.
Oh, there we go. It just started happening. I don't know what that is. That is the weirdest thing ever.
Hi, Harry.
Welcome to the show, brother. Good to see you. I gotta say that thing that I say when I see Harry. I love Harry nuts. Oh, and I knock things off. Appropriate and wrong. We shouldn't do that. We're gonna move on from that travesty. All right. I really don't have a whole lot more laid out because of that weird glitchiness that's going on there. It's doing it here too. Yeah, that's so weird. I can like change it back, and it's working again. It's the weirdest shit. I don't even understand. So what are you planning on doing with your channel? You've got you're toting around 300 followers. Was it like 289 or something like that?
I think I'm at 218 right now.
Right. Okay, 218.
Yeah, it's going good. You know, I'm really proud of where I'm at. I think that my giveaways are now kind of like a cool thing I'm going to keep doing.
If you enjoy it, sure.
Yeah. So when, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I really just do it to share my craft and my travels, and if anyone's interested in watching, it's cool.
Fantastic. I'm hoping if I can get all the little gizmos in a row to work, unlike my computer, I'm hoping to be able to do a little bit of traveling here soon. One issue I have is I have to do jury duty starting next month. So this episode, my next episode, there might be one more after that if certain people get in my emails and let me know that they're available. Other than that, I don't come the first. I'm pretty much going to stop doing like actual productive content and be
Mm-hmm.
using my previously made content to kind of fill the gaps until I'm done with that. Because I don't know if that's going to be a couple of days or if it's going to be 6 weeks. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of best to clear your calendar when they're doing that crap. I don't know if it works if I poke it. It works when I poke some random. Let me put my mouse over here. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, you know, the being on my YouTube channel, it's nice now. I'm starting to get orders for work, so that's helping me, you know, expand, you know, my art and you know, find new customers for it. So that's been a blessing. So that's definitely a big thing for me.
That's cool. I am happy that it is working with you. Hey, Gabby Gray Hips, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Don't believe I've seen you before. You're new. You got that new sub smell. Might be something wrong with me. I'm not sure. Had a few head injuries over my life. I tried boxing at one point in time. It's a terrible idea. I don't advise it.
Yep, the my recent travels, I love going to the Blue Ridge Mountains. That's one of my favorite places on the Appalachian Trail to travel and just to enjoy. I really love being out in nature. So even though, you know, we live in the city, we always find our way out into the trees and shit.
Well, that's the way it's got to go, man. If you don't go out there and look, see what there is to see, you don't get anything out of life. It's all just a
Exactly.
repetitive day after day after day after day after day, and you're just doing the same thing. The only way to change it is to physically do something different. Where's my chair?
Yep, I had yep, I had started a project. I got some really pretty confetti glass. There's some types of glass I don't use very often because of how expensive it is, but once I get it, it's kind of like, you know, like a kid at a candy store, so it's fun to work with it.
I did a little bit of glass work when I was younger. I worked in a window factory, and
Oh, right on.
it does to cut glass properly. It takes a certain understanding of fluid dynamics, right?
Mhm.
It's not something you can explain to someone, but you get over there with a glass cutter and start mucking around with it. It starts coming to you pretty quick, you know, when you start seeing how things break and how deep you have to etch it and that kind of stuff, right? Uh,
Mm.
when I was working at that factory, we had a customer come in and order an aquarium window.
Mhm.
So this is a window that is as wide as a 2x4. The glass section itself, like
Oh yeah.
it's built to fit barely into the wall, so that the glass is actually on the outside of both sides of a picture window.
Mhm.
We're using like tinsel glass, and you can't even breathe hard on that stuff; it'll shatter. Which is really weird because it's spider webs, but it doesn't actually break. It's got rubber on both sides, so it's tempered, but at the same time, it's like safety glass.
Mhm.
We built this thing, and I spent like 2 months on the darn thing. I built it, and I got the fish in there, and we got everything set up. And then the guy shows me where he wants to put the picture window, and I'm like, "This isn't going to work." He's like, "Why not?" I said, "Because there's a I included cleaning methods in the window, but they will not be effective enough to take direct sunlight type algae growth. You're trying to put it on like morning sun side, and yeah, that would be beautiful, but that's not going to work. Are you gonna have
Yeah.
somebody come over and sit there with the little magnet and scratch at the freaking algae on a daily? Because you can't just wipe the window on the outside. That's not gonna work.
Mhm.
And I had built like the whole unit built vertically on the side of it so that you could just tip the whole unit in and then fill it full of water and put fish in. Like
That is so wild. How cool.
it was wild. The little door on the side at the top was like
Yeah.
real big,
Mhm.
just a little bitty thing. And really you could only put stuff in it. in order to take stuff out, you had to open the door at the bottom and drain everything out. So it was kind of self-cleaning as far as that was concerned.
Yeah.
You know, it was an annoying build because no one really knew where it was going to go, and so we didn't really know what it was going to have to be. You know,
Hmm.
so we just had to build something and hope it would work. And Homecos tried to put it. We ended up putting it on the downhill side of the house, like the shadiest corner we could find. I don't know.
That's
I
so
never did go back and check it. I always wanted to. I imagine he got fed up with that thing almost immediately.
I got a new color yesterday that I have not shown yet, actually, if you're interested.
Maybe I might be a little interested.
I have not used it before, but I'm going to make something for my husband with it.
That is wild.
Yeah, not sure. Yeah, I found it in the sale bin, and I just thought it was really cool, and I was going to figure out something to do with it.
That's like a for right behind like a splash shield on a wall. It's for like right behind the stove or something that's going to be hot.
This is my other one. You can see the iridescence
Oh,
and
that's
I'll be
super
making an
wild.
alien with it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Very exciting. I don't think people realize how many different colors, types, and textures, and there's so many factors and how many different types of glass there is. It's incredible. Then you go into the handmade stuff, and that's my favorite. That's like this confetti glass.
Confetti glass is hard to deal with sometimes.
Oh,
that stuff
it's
don't
a
break right
total
to it.
pain.
Yeah, it don't break right.
No, it's a total pain, and you can rip the confetti out. But it's some of my favorite to use.
Is that you, Harry, or is it us? I have, according to my little gauges, I have good signal. I'm coming through over here on my phone. It seems to be working most places that I can verify. But Harry's got to try refreshing, bro. I don't know.
The last thing I created, I'm not sure if you had ever seen my the finished product of my woodpecker I made. He's somewhere over here. There you go.
I did. I saw that in one of your shorts.
Oh, cool.
It's in one of your shorts. I'm positive.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember to make shorts of those. It takes quite a bit of time, so it's very hard to try to live something through unless it's, very simple, and, trying to grind while you're live is very difficult as well.
Yeah, it is. I can't play games while I'm live. I had no idea it would affect me that way.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, because there's people there, I can't just ignore it and play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The chat, and so that breaks the immersion in the game, and it breaks my ability to do, like, really complicated things that involve getting your head right in the game.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to do like I was wanting to do I wanted to film a playthrough of New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas, and then build the character to look like Hunter S. Thompson, and then put the gameplay set to the audio book of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, read by Hunter H. Thompson.
That's awesome.
And I can't get enough grits in the same bowl to get through Fallout's the beginning few things. I keep getting trapped in various places trying to kind of skip ahead a little bit. I get too far into the wasteland, and it just murders me. And in one vein, I love it, but in the other vein, I've got an end result I'm working towards here. That's not helping.
Right.
Not sure exactly what to do with it.
Yeah,
like
it's all
good. Anything else? You got anything planned for the future? Any channel? What are your favorite channels? Tell me that.
Well, my two favorite channels to go on panel are the only two, Devo's Weed Chronicles and Wandering Hippie. Of course, I'm going to enjoy Harry Nuts' channel. For those of you who don't know, Harry Nuts is my dad. And, you know, it's cool to see his videos and, you know, stuff he's been up to. I love I love going through your content and oh my gosh, why am I blanking on her name? She does gardening and she was just on your thing.
Ernie.
Yes, I love watching Ernie's videos. Those are cool.
They really are. When she's producing them, they're great, right? Because when she does videos, she'll do 5, 6, 10 in a couple of few days, and then sometimes she might not upload a video for 3 or 4 days in a row. So I haven't seen anything recently except for the Sunday shout outs, and I don't think I saw last Sunday's. I'm gonna have to go look. Let's see.
Yeah, you know,
That's
I do the same thing. I actually only started posting about my garden and stuff because her channel inspired me to show off my little garden that I made.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
That's one of the things I was talking to her about is when it comes to making a garden, most people will go through the effort of doing it, and then like for instance with me, last year I planted a garden and I lost all my tomatoes. But you know what I really didn't talk about was the tomatoes I lost. They just disappeared, and I never mentioned them again until, you know, it became a conversation later about how, you know, when people are doing gardens, there's a tendency to not show the parts that didn't work. And that's one thing Ernie does is she shows pretty much everything that went right, went wrong, and went sideways on it. That's lovely.
That's right. You know, and that's what it's about. You know, I've actually learned some stuff from her channel too. So that's what I try to do. You know, that's the content I like watching. So I, you know, try to, you know, do the same thing.
Yeah, man. Okay. You don't really watch a whole bunch of YouTube other than the live streams, do you?
No, I don't. I have to admit that. You know, I enjoy either listening to some jazz music or something while I work, or I'm on a panel doing it. That's the only way to really keep me in here, to be honest. You know, I'm stoned a lot, so to keep my attention.
Right. I kind of have the same approach with my computer. I keep it annexed off in its own room until I'm ready to use it because, you know, they're evil, steal your soul or whatever. So, you know, when I decide I'm going to use it for something, I come in here and sit down, and then I fall into a deep, dark, black abyss of non-existence for a while. Like 8 hours later, my wife will come in. You need to eat something. We're all starving. Eat something.
It's something that people don't realize about glass as well, and maybe I should do a video about, you know, that it's standing up the entire time, bent over to break the glass, to grind the glass. I can sit down for foiling. I stand up for soldering. So it's a, you know, it's a little more different than people think, but I enjoy it. I just have to do it in little doses.
Mosaic windows are difficult regardless of what type of glass you use. Because the weird thing is you can do everything right. You can do absolutely every step of it correctly. But oh, that is wild. What have I found?
Right? That's cool.
That is wild. What is this? What have I found?
Thanks for subbing. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and remember, if you find a channel on another channel on my channel, tell them Sasquatch sent you. It'll confuse them and tickle me.
Yep, I'm trying to build up my channel to share my stuff. You know, it has been bringing me some fun projects to make for some, you know, things I've never made before, like, you know, fun unicorns and stuff like that. you know. So it's just fun. It keeps me busy, and able to, do art and shit, man.
That's exactly what it's all about. I mean, every bit of what we're doing, whether we're streaming or we're editing or we're filming, it's all a level of art. And you have to think about it in layers. So you're working with glass to create a creation that is a physical creation. You're also filming that work on digital or however you're doing it, or streaming it, or whatever it is you're doing. At a later point, you may go back and edit that together into a nice tight little bundle or make a short out of it. And all of this has an artistic flair to it that isn't like most art. Like, you can't equate it to painting. You can't equate it to playing an instrument. It is nothing like that, because the visual components in streaming or in just maybe doing anything in video, the editing, the layering involved in all that stuff, the sound, it is at least as complex as playing an instrument and not nearly as naturally occurring.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciate sharing my, just sharing what I'm doing, and I'm glad that people are interested. I've lived a very interesting life, and I still do, and I just enjoy sharing it.
Fantastic. All right, so we got about 10 minutes left in this whole thing. 10:38. Okay, we got about 10 minutes left on this end of the show. Unless we're done, we seem to have covered a pretty good bit of ground. I can't remember that lady's name. That's the channel. It's Heidi. What is it? Heidi's Wondrous Adventures, or Heidi's Magical Adventures, or something like that. I can't remember the name of that channel. Oh, Mighty Heidi Dream Warriors Adventures. Something like that. It's in there somewhere. But anyway, there's the link to her live stream if you want to go poke her and tell her Sasquatch sent you.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on this question real quick from Russell Sperry. How much it costs to get started? It depends on where you're at, and if you need to order supplies online, or if you can buy it from a local hobby shop or from a stained glass studio. If you would like, and I can give you a realistic cost of what it could be to ship, you can please feel free to send me an email. It's Biggie and Bean stained glass at gmail.com. Not sure if someone can help me. Harry Nuts dropped my email. For some reason, it's not letting me put messages in the chat.
No, you, as a guest, you don't get the public YouTube chat. You'd have to go open a YouTube video to get it, but you have access to the private chat, which if you're backstage, gives you communication with me. And I don't know any other way to set that up. I just now figured out how to set up a subscribers only stream for the radio show, and I forgot to do it last night. So I don't know. Might do it, might not. Apparently.
Yeah, I'm all about, like I said, the education of it, man. And I have no problem answering anyone's questions, or, if you would like to request some videos from me, or if you want to see anything specific about my stained glass, please just drop it in my comments. If you guys give me more ideas for content, I could maybe, it'll give me a direction to push them out, a little quicker.
One of the things I try to impress upon guests is they're sometimes they're focused specifically on a given type of content, and sometimes they are open to absolutely any and everything that's taking place. So on some channels, you come across people who are like, no, I'm doing gaming stuff. If it's not about gaming, I don't. I'm like, well, here's the thing. If you go outside and you have to, say, change spark plug in your lawnmower, that's a short. Takes 2 minutes, takes 30 seconds to film it. You just say what you're doing, screw it in, send it out, and don't do nothing else with it. It might get 30,000 views. You never know. That's the part I try to get across to people. It's not necessarily the quality of what you do. It's sometimes how you name it. Sometimes just the thumbnail picture itself of the short will get people to click it. Hey, what's up, Drew? Good to see you. Wait. Yes, no, that's Drew. Right. Yes. Okay. Now there's another one that's like paranormal living histories or something like that, and I get them mixed up in my head sometimes for a second until I see how he types. I gotta look at his name real close.
No, that's great. And I try to do that. You know, we that was the first long video I made camping a few weekends ago. That was pretty fun. I tried to live stream when I was out there, but I only had one bar, so it was short lived.
When you're doing that type of stuff, my advice, rather than trying to even attempt a live stream when too far out, do it like you would a premiere. Basically, you know who would show up and look at your video, right? You got a pretty good idea, and you probably could guess about what they would say about it. Just talk to them, or talk to Harry. You know, it's just a voiceover. It's kind of like a leaving a message on an answering machine, sort of. Y'all know what I found? After digging through this computer for probably, I don't know, I was doing some other editing and stumbled across it. I have my old F this shit I'm out outro.
There you go.
It's been sitting in a folder over here. I misplaced it. I haven't been able to find it for 3 months. Like the original, not it's probably copyright. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't tested it yet. I know that for the first freaking 5 months, I didn't see a copyright claim, and then the next thing I knew, I was catching on every single episode.
Oh man,
it doesn't matter. I'm not monetized, but at the same time, I consider it a bar by which to judge my craft. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on what I'm doing, and all of the other stuff is superfluous to it. It's required skills to be able to do what I want to do when I'm done. You know, when I'm and I'll never be done. I'm just saying when I'm at that place where I look back and go, okay, this is what I was trying to do.
Right.
This ain't it, but we're getting there.
Well, you know, I think as long as my channel brings a little bit of joy to someone and maybe a giggle or two, I accomplished whatever I put on there.
Right. That's the goal. My goal largely is to meet a few folks, have fun, and enjoy myself for the most part. When I stop enjoying myself doing any particular aspect of any of it, I'll stop doing that stuff, whatever it is, because I don't enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
Function. See, when it starts glitching around like that, it's hard to like highlight stuff. But I'll try to like copy and paste something. There you go. There's a big old email in there.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, man. Hell, Squatch, I got copyright claim on the intro music on Madame Lalaurie video the other day, and I created that piece that piece of music yourself, huh? Right? Well, you see, all it does is it's automatic. All it does is track beats, and so after running into some crapo copyright company out of like Southeast Asia, copyright claiming almost everything I put up, I started using something that like the Netflix stuff, because if it pops copyright claim, the people Netflix, the people who defends Netflix music actually go after them, and they don't mess with me. So okay, yeah, it's a bit repetitive, but at the same time, it's a full bank of decent music that's not copyright claimed. So I can use it, and it's better than pink, 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 pink.
Yes.
Just objectively better, even though it's rap, even though it's hip hop, even though it's not the music that I would like to do. It's decent music that I can get behind on some level. Hey, Zaxxon, welcome.
I'm still trying to figure out that movie thing. You know, I didn't realize with the shorts until I think yesterday that the music's only 15 seconds long. So if I do the 60-second. That's why it keeps cutting off. I didn't actually know that. I just thought my phone kept messing up.
No, it's short. You can't do but 54
Yeah,
seconds.
I didn't know that.
Anything over 54 seconds, and depending on what system you use to edit it, determines how many tail seconds are left over at the end. So you can do a 58-second short, and when you upload it, it's actually a minute, like a minute and 2 seconds or something. So I think 54 seconds is the flat cutoff point. So anything above 54 seconds might end up not being a short.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and another tip, with your cell phone, you can go to your previous videos and tap the create button. So if you've got any live streams or anything back there, tap the create button and create a short out of a given section of any stream or any other video you uploaded.
Yes. Thank you. That's
really handy for me.
Yeah. Sure. On my
It lets me make my little short virtual things real easy. Because that's the whole point, right? All right, you got anything you want to tell everybody before we close this out? We're not ending the show quite yet, but we are going to end this part of the show.
Oh no, I just want to say thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. If you're looking for any stained glass, I can do custom orders, or if you want to see what I have in inventory for sale, just shoot me an email. If you want to learn about stained glass, email me about that too. I have no problem doing it. Please follow my videos, and I hope you guys enjoy it. That's it. So thank you guys. Thank you for having me on here.
I appreciate you coming. I really dig when now this is going to sound weird. I could see how you could have a problem starting a live stream just to do the normal work that you do on a daily basis, right? Because you're wanting it to be interesting and you're wanting it, but keep in mind, live streams are a way of banking content that you can use in the future, and you can always private it immediately afterwards.
Okay.
And there are people who have this weird ASMR effect from watching people do specific things, like tiny things or ridiculous details. So, don't worry about how many people show up or how many people are watching or what the view time count is, because that's not the nature of your channel. Your channel is product driven, not entertainment driven, right? So you're doing a thing and showing how it's done. Later, you can go download it to whatever computer you want to, edit it into a lesson on how to do this particular type of stained glass, or however you want to do it. The point is, there's going to be a mountain of dead material that is useless to you that's just hanging around on your channel. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't sweat that. Don't get to looking at it and go, man, that's an awful lot of stuff. I'm going to get rid of some of it. No, that's all useful material. And as long as there's nothing on it that's like strikeable or anything nefarious, just leave it there. One day, you can, like I said, you can private the live stream, edit what you want into it, upload the little short bits that you think are interesting. Everybody will love it. Promise you. It's a little more work and it takes a little bit of doing. But if you love what you do, that's what it's going to take. Right?
I absolutely will.
All right. I'm going to set you backstage real quick. I really, really appreciate you coming in. It's fantastic.
Yeah, man.
And I'm going to talk these folks out and give them a little dance and a groove, and we'll be right back with you, okay?
Got it.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the end of the show, and this is all pretty much for the editing team, me drunk later. So I'm going to do this little play out. I'm going to tell each and every one of you that I love each and every one of you like a brother and a sister. But if you give me any trouble tonight, I'll run every goddamn one of y'all off of here. Because right after I hit this button, I'm going to pop the cap on this bottle of rum. And then we're going to have this conversation. And we're going to talk about things that deserve talking about, if I can find the right.
Hey, she was a cutie in a sundress. Yeah. I told her I just had to confess. I got a crush on you, darling. The main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.